In Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, the Ettin are described as conjoined twin giants whose name in common translates roughly to ugly giant, and translates to runt in the language of the giants. They're roughly 10 to 12 feet tall and appear at first to be shorter hill giants, except for the fact that they have 2 heads. They're highly aggressive creatures that lack even the most basic civility that other giantkin can possess, being driven instead by an almost animalistic instinct that urges them to destroy, kill, and take everything in sight. They rarely wash, and so their skin is often coated in a thick layer of dirt and filth, and they're typically found in areas between rocky outcroppings, rolling hills, and dangerous mountains. The Ettin has an AC of 12, 85 hit points, and a speed of 40 feet. They have exceptional strength and constitution, and have a +4 to perception checks. They have the 2 heads trait, which gives them advantage on perception checks and saving throws against being blinded, deafened, frightened, stunned, or knocked unconscious. They're also never truly asleep, as one of the heads is always awake keeping watch. They use a multi-attack in combat of 1 battle axe and 1 morning star, with each dealing a potential of 7 to 21 damage, for an overall damage potential of 14 to 42. As a DM, I would personally use the Ettin as a lookout or scouting giant within a giant compound or lair. While the lore suggests that the Ettins are not favored by giant kind or their gods, there's little to suggest that all of them are thrown out simply for being runts. And giants may be slow-witted, but they're not stupid. Why throw away a perfectly good lookout who never sleeps? I would position them in out-of-the-way areas near a giant's base's entrance, keeping lookout for anyone who dares to come close. From there, I would have any Ettins nearby charging into battle to strike at the nearest player with their multi-attack, while any full giants nearby would be throwing rocks and other ranged weapons at the players from the backline. Once the frontline Ettins are killed or incapacitated, I would have the other giants close in to finish off the weakened party. In mythology, the Ettin is first described in the Old English term Ettin, which refers to a giant with 2 heads from Germanic and Nordic lore. The Ettins are a subclass of giants or giantkin, typically said to be brutish and godless creatures that attack anyone they see. The Celtic Scots took this imagery a step further, and described the Ettins to being part of the Northumbrian and Gaelic term Bogle, as well as the guardians of Cobb's Causeway, also known as the Devil's Causeway, a Roman road in northeast England of today. While the ancient Scots believed that these giants were created to confuse and harry mankind, they were not often seen as brutish or outwardly violent. In comparing the monster to the myth, we find that the Ettin of D&D is a combination of the original myths coupled with the Scottish and Germanic descriptions. While the Ettin in ancient Norse and Germanic cultures are sometimes seen as brutish, the Ettins and giants in Scottish myth are not. However, most contemporary versions of the Ettin paint them as aggressive, quick-to-anger barbarians that will kill anything that approaches them, and are usually associated with land similar to that found in the Scottish Highlands. If you enjoyed that video, please leave a like and comment below, and consider subscribing to the channel. You can also join the Patreon for $1 a month to access videos days before they're posted here, as well as other exclusive stuff like short stories, videos, and more.